Orlando, a biography. Orlando, a biography is a novel by Virginia Woolf, first published in 11 October 1928, inspired by tumultuous family history of the aristocratic poet and novelist Beta Sackville West, who was Woolf's lover and close friend. Orlando is a history of English literature in a satiric form in itself. The book describes adventures of a poet who changes sex from man to woman and lives for centuries. And he meets many English literary figures, hence, it is said to be a narrative of English history, literary history. It's a feminist classic, and it has been admired and written about by many other writers as well, mainly women writings and about gender. It's a novel of 134 pages. Novel has been adapted into a number of films, as we all know, and the first film was director was Robert Wilson, and writer is Darrell Pinkney, and director Robert Wilson. Then this had its British premiere, which was at Edinburgh Festival. Edinburgh Festival. British premiere. First performed by the actress Isabel Humpert. She performed the French version, and the English version was Miranda Richardson playing the title role in Edinburgh Festival. Then there was a film adaptation by In the Name of Orlando itself by Sally Potter. Not that important. Now let's come to the plot. The eponymous hero is born as a male nobleman in England during the reign of Elizabeth I. He undergoes a mysterious change of sex at the age of 30 and lives on for more than 300 years into modern times without being perceptible. So, the person, he changes sex at the age of 30 and lives for more than 300 years. As a teenage boy, the handsome Orlando serves as a page at Elizabethan court and becomes the favorite of the elderly queen Elizabeth. After her death, he falls deeply in love with Sasha, an elusive and somewhat feral princess in the entourage of the Russian embassy. Sasha is her name. Note that, Sasha. Deeply in love with Sasha, an elusive and somewhat feral princess in the entourage of Russian embassy. Entourage of Russian embassy. Sasha. This episode of love and ice skating against the background of a celebrated frost fair held on the frozen Thames River during the Great Frost of 1608, when birds froze in mid-air and fell like stones to the ground, inspired some of Virginia Woolf's most of the writings. Great statesmen, in their beards and ruffles, dispatched affairs of state under crimson awning of royal pagoda. Frozen roses fell in showers when the Queen and her ladies walked abroad near London Bridge, where the river had frozen into a depth of some 20 fathoms. A wrecked ferry boat was plainly visible lying on the bed of the river where it had sunk last autumn, overladen with apples. The old bamboo woman who was carrying her fruit to market on the Surrey side sat there in her plaits and farthingales with her lap full of apples, for all the world as if she were about to serve a customer, though a certain blueness about the lips hinted the truth. The melting of the ice coincides with Sasha's unfaithfulness and sudden departure for Russia. Okay, this in through this excerpt, it is uh, clear that he had gone through a difficult time, and Sasha has left him to Russia. The desolate Orlando returns to writing The Oak Tree, a long poem started and abandoned in his youth. The oak tree is the long poem, okay? The oak tree. He meets the hospitably entertains an invidious poetaster, Nicholas Green, who proceeds to find fault with Orlando's writing. Okay, who finds fault with Nicholas Green? Finds faults with his writing of the poem. Okay, the poem is the writing. Okay, and later the oak tree. Name is Oak Tree, the long poem. Later, Orlando feels betrayed on learning that he has been lampooned in one of Green's subsequent works. A period of contemplating love and life leads Orlando to appreciate the values of his ancestral stately home, which he proceeds to furnish lavishly. There he plays host to the populace. Okay, so he's back. Green makes fun of him and lampoons him, and he is Orlando. Mr. Orlando is back to his uh, home, where he finds time in furnishing his home, and yeah, let's stop it there.